Kyle Vowinkle is a former FBI hostage negotiator and hostage rescue team operator. Kyle, this new video put out by The Sun, how does that strike you?
Well, as we assess what I did as a negotiator in the FBI, first off, I need to say my heart goes out to the families. This waiting, the uncertainty, and the silence is soul-crushing. I've sat in those spaces, that exact space with families, waiting to hear back from captors, and it's its own form of torture. So the fact that there's a second plea out there from the family begging for communication from the captors is not a positive sign. The fact, right, we look at the behavior of the captors, normal kidnapping for ransoms, they want a direct private channel of communication between the families or the payers of the ransom and the kidnappers. Here, they've done the exact opposite, right? They sent, if the captors are the same ones that sent those ransom notes to the two media outlets, they want attention. They want to put pressure possibly on the family. Maybe there is an ulterior motive besides the traditional kidnapping for ransom. So it does concern me the fact there's no communication. We're past that deadline because the captor doesn't want to communicate, or they're intentionally choosing not to communicate back to the families. So why are they doing that? Maybe, I hate to say this, something happened during the kidnapping and we know of the blood spots on the entryway. I hope Mrs. Guthrie is okay, and I truly hope that we recover her safely. But that would be a reason potentially for the captor not to communicate back if there's no reason to communicate back.
Right. They would just go quiet, and that's why you're getting a second video. What's with the deadlines? The 5 o'clock deadline today and another deadline Monday. Tell us about that.
It's unique. So again, this is not traditional kidnapping for ransom, that you would not have multiple deadlines. And I have not read the ransom note. I'm only going off of, I'm retired FBI. I'm only going off publicly available information. So in that, as far as the deadlines, you don't normally have multiple deadlines. And the fact that one is passed, we ideally, right, our number one goal in kidnapping for ransoms and hostage takings is to establish a direct, secure line of communications with the captors in order to communicate, right, in order to understand their demands, assess the status of the victim, obtain proof of life, proof of authority to release the victim, and then set the dynamics in play to recover the victim. So now with no communication and a deadline passed, right, that's two potentially negative indicators now that we're seeing. And I'd obviously love to see that note to see where there are consequences tied to each different deadline, because that can happen. Like if you don't contact us by 5 p.m., we're going to do this negative action. But the fact that there's no communication at all is worrisome to me, and the family, hopefully, out there will hear something back from the captors, or maybe the public, does see something, because the public is a valuable tool in this. And the one thing I would like to say is that, we don't want the public to investigate or confront anyone on their own, but what the public can do is they can spot behavior that's out of the ordinary, those patterns of behavior that a person is now doing. Maybe they've stockpiled food and water or purchased hygiene items, or they're not being out and about and they're restricting access to like rooms or a garage or an outhouse, or they're going there at odd times. So if the public sees, again, some patterns of behavior that are out of the normal, and maybe this person's fixated on the news, watching each and every minute, well, if that's the case and the hair on the back of their neck, the public is standing up, I would encourage you to contact the FBI or the police and let those professionals triage those potential leads.
Kyle, very informative. Thank you so much. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.